The question of extraterrestrial life has puzzled people for decades. Apollo 14 astronaut Dr. EDGAR Mitchell, he was the sixth man to walk on the moon, and he says he's certain we are not alone in the universe. He's now speaking out about why he thinks the government actually knows this to be true.
For decades, people all over the country have questioned the existence of extraterrestrial life.
Hey, you guys want to see him?
Blockbuster movies have been based on those suspicions. And every year people record seeing strange objects and lights dancing across the sky. But do alien life forms really exist? Former astronaut and scientist Dr. EDGAR Mitchell is one of 12 men to have walked on the moon. On January 31st, 1971, Mitchell, along with two other astronauts, embarked on the Apollo 14 mission to outer space. Now, during his 9 days in space, he became the sixth man to walk on the moon.
Our mission on Apollo 14 was to begin to start doing science on the moon, notably set up a science station and do a geology trek.
While his 9-hour spacewalk revealed interesting facts about the surface of the moon, one of the most intriguing things that Dr. Mitchell would discover had nothing to do with his Apollo 14 mission.
I did grow up in Roswell, New Mexico, which was the site of the so-called Roswell incident, and was living there at the time that happened, even though there was a great deal of keep people quiet from the government. The lore for many years was that it was a UFO crash.
July 1947, a mysterious explosion rocked Roswell, New Mexico. Strange debris was recovered from the scene. At first, the government said the mysterious object was a, quote, flying disc, but later explained that it was just a top-secret research balloon. However, locals and UFO enthusiasts adamantly believe that what really crashed that night was an alien spacecraft. Adding to the intrigue is a deathbed admission from a public information officer on the case who said it was not only a government cover-up, but that bodies of space aliens were recovered from the site.
Because I was a Roswell boy, a local person, and also I had the credibility of going into space and going to the moon, some of the locals came to me, and a couple of the military and intelligence people came to me. They wanted to tell their story because they couldn't tell it. They were sworn to secrecy.
After hearing numerous accounts from seemingly credible eyewitnesses, Dr. Mitchell decided to dedicate his studies to the research of extraterrestrial life.
In 1997, I was in Washington, and it was a disclosure conference. Went to the Pentagon. We asked for a meeting with the Intelligence Committee in the Pentagon. The Vice Admiral that we met with said, well, I don't know about that. And he said, I'll find out. Subsequently called and said, you were right. That program is there and did happen. I'm going to see if I can fit into it. And we got information later that he did find the people responsible for doing the current work, but was resoundingly told that he had no need to know, therefore he couldn't come in.
But why aren't UFO research findings reported to the public? Given all the government secrecy, Dr. Mitchell says he isn't surprised that people are afraid to report their stories to authorities.
Knowing many other military aviators who have had encounters with UFOs in the air and tried to talk about it, they were always debriefed by intelligence people and then told to shut up and don't say anything.
But Dr. Mitchell is, quote, not the only astronaut to question the existence of extraterrestrial life. And the late Gordon Cooper, one of the original 7 Mercury astronauts, was also convinced we're not alone. One of the themes of his memoir, quote, Leap of Faith, is his belief in extraterrestrial intelligence.
When he was at Edwards Air Force Base on duty before his selection, there was a UFO incident there that he observed, got some pictures of, and tried to report it, and did report it, but his pictures disappeared.
We reached out to NASA for comment. They told us, quote, NASA is not involved in any sort of cover-up about alien life on this planet or anywhere else in the universe. Dr. Mitchell is a great American, but we do not share his opinions on this issue. But the question still remains, are we alone? Despite the government denials, two of the most highly trained people who have ever traveled into space firmly believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life. Should their opinions be so easily dismissed?
The more we see the pictures from the Hubble telescope and we see the immensity and the majesty of the universe, and the billions of stars and the billions of galaxies. The knowledge that they have developed is really quite good. It should be convincing anybody that what they have seen is very, very powerful.